Summer is the perfect time to be outdoors, but when mosquitoes threaten to ruin the fun, is there anything you can do? Meet Thermacell MR300 portable mosquito repeller. This handheld device promises to create a mosquito-free cone of relaxation. But with no batteries and twice as many components that need replacing, is the Thermacell MR300 your new camping and beachside bestie, or just a cash cow for Thermacell? And most importantly, does it truly work? In this hands-on review, I'm going to try it out at my home to see what it's like to use, what makes it different from other Thermacell devices, and how it works. I'll tally up the pros and the cons and let you know if I think I can recommend this portable mosquito repelling device for you. Inside the box, you'll find the MR300 unit itself, along with a single butane fuel cartridge and 3 wrapped repellent mats. Because you can't recharge this since it has no batteries, you won't find any cables or other accessories. Let's get to using this device. When it comes to mosquito repellents, your results are going to vary depending on the environment and weather or wind conditions. But for maximum effectiveness, let this unit warm up for about 15 minutes to spread the repellent. This should generate about a 15-foot protection field against mosquitoes, which should be more than good enough for things like gardening, camping, or fishing. A word of warning though, the device isn't waterproof and Thermacell says to keep it out of the rain. Onto the setup and the assembly, it's quite straightforward. Just pull the cap off the narrow butane cartridge. The cartridge twists into the inside of the handle. Then where you're going to use it, unwrap one of the repellent mats and that just slides in under the hard plastic on top of the device. When it's time to activate the mat, flip the switch on the handle to the on position, then push and hold the start button to activate the butane. Once you can hear it running very faintly, set it in the center of your seating area. There is also a tiny window in the top of the device that should begin to glow red when it's running. How does it work? The product name gives kind of a clue on how it works. Therma, because each device generates heat to vaporize a liquid solution in that disposable mat. The solution disperses into the air so that when mosquitoes run into it, they kind of head in the other direction. Right away, there are a few caveats I think you should be aware of that actually impede the usefulness. First, it won't stand up on one end since both the top and the bottom are rounded. Then there's no way to attach a lanyard or carrying strap. That means if you want to bring it along, you have to physically hold it in your hand. And before you think you might be able to slide it into a pocket or sleeve or backpack, that's going to be tough because there's an airflow vent on the back of the unit and you can't block or impede that flow by tucking it into a pocket or against any type of fabric. Finding a good place for this to ride along isn't easy. In fact, Thermacell recommends the device just be placed flat on a surface. That to me makes it kind of the same as the Thermacell patio shield or patio lantern and a lot less useful as a supposed portable gadget. So does it work? You can probably just barely see the device running here. It emits just the faintest wisps from the face of the unit. I used this portable handheld on several nights out here in the backyard. It has been a chilly and rainy spring here in Calgary this year, and that has actually led to a lot of mosquitoes. So the ideal placement for this device is in the center of the area where you're sitting, on a table or otherwise nearby, so that it can create that kind of radius of protection around you. I can confirm from my personal experience it doesn't smell at all. There's no noticeable smoke or vapor unless you're looking extremely closely, and it runs silently. Definitely not going to compete with the music and certainly not going to be as jarring as one of those bug zappers. Now, trying to set up an experiment where I measure different mosquito concentrations in various positions in my yard would be pretty much impossible. I can only go on what my gut tells me with this device and what others who've been around it say. In short, it actually does feel like it's working, and I felt like I was slapping mosquitoes a whole lot less or even not at all when I had one of these devices running nearby. It also had the bonus effect of keeping mosquitoes off the dogs too. I wasn't very happy with the fact there is no auto shutoff with this device. It is far too easy to run through a full tank of butane if you forget to turn it off, which I'm sure Thermacell would like because then you'd need to buy more. And that brings me to the topic of the refills. The Thermacell MR300 portable mosquito repeller here will be completely useless without its proprietary butane fuel cartridge and the repellent mats inside. Now, a single butane cartridge should last you about 12 straight hours, and one repellent mat will last you about 4 hours. You can tell if a mat is fully exhausted if it turns from blue to fully white. In terms of cost, a single replacement fuel cell with a pack of 3 replacement mats costs about $8.99 US or $9.49 Canadian. I just want to take a quick moment here to call out the fact there are a few different options from Thermacell that use similar technology to the MR300 here. Some of them are different sizes, but they all have similar operation. You can get the Thermacell Patio Shield lantern, which adds an LED light. That lantern does use AA batteries, but they're only used to power the light. The butane cell still fuels the repellent. There is also the portable Patio Shield, which is shaped more like a soda can and comes in a lot more colors to match your yard decor. There is also a rechargeable version that uses liquid repellent cartridges that last a bit longer. You can check out my full review of the Thermacell Radius here on the channel, and I'll link it up at the end. Overall, there's definitely a buyer for this version of the product, and the fact there are thousands of these sold every season means it does have a place in the market. Even so, it might not be the ideal solution for everyone, and maybe one of those other options I showed you could be better. Let's take a look at the pros and the cons to see if this one is right for you. On the pro side, it's small, light, and portable and doesn't need batteries. It operates without smoke, scent, and doesn't make any noise at all. And when it comes to whether or not it works, I feel like it does help keep the mosquitoes at a distance. So what are the downsides? Definitely the fact you'll need to restock 2 sets of supplies instead of just 1, and that duo has a not insignificant cost that will eventually add up to more than you pay for the device. The butane cartridges and mats seem to be proprietary, and I wonder how easy finding resupplies will be in stores. The other thing I thought was a bit of a design flaw is that there's no way to attach a lanyard or carrying strap, and because of the airflow through the back of the device, it may also be dangerous to slide into a pocket or to bring into contact with any fabric. Also, it doesn't turn off automatically, so if you happen to forget about it, as I did, you can easily kill an entire mat or tube of butane without realizing. If you'd prefer to limit your spending to 1 set of refills, you can investigate a different option like the rechargeable Thermacell Radius, which uses only a small vial of liquid as the mosquito repellent and has a rechargeable built-in battery. I definitely recommend Radius, but depending on what your use case is, I do also find that the MR300 portable repeller here does the job of repelling mosquitoes well, as long as you're mostly staying put. For that reason, I can recommend it for you as long as you understand the refill treadmill you're getting yourself onto. Thermacell MR300 sells for about $24.99 US or $36.99 Canadian for the unit itself, while the replacement 12-hour bundles with a cartridge and a set of 3 mats costs about $8.99 US or $9.49 Canadian. And if you want to see some other handy devices to battle mosquitoes or just to make life in the outdoors more enjoyable, check out these reviews right now.